Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's NBA slate on Wednesday, April the 16th. We've got two games once again on Wednesday night. We've got kind of the second day of the play-in tournament. This is the the 9 seed versus 10 seed games. So winner of these games will play the loser of Tuesday's games. Loser of these games is eliminated, from the postseason. So these are, win or go home games, very important games for these teams. We got two games. We got the Heat and the Bulls, and then we have the Mavericks and the Kings. So we're going to talk about two props that I do like from these two games. We will give out a prop for each game. So, we'll talk about a prop I like in the Heat Bulls game, and then a prop from the Kings and Pacers game, or excuse me, Kings and Mavericks game. So before we talk through these plays, guys, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they help you out, make sure that you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, and if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, be sure to go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. Easy way to build up your bankroll on Prizepicks. Make sure to use that code NOAH when you do sign up. And also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You can sign up for Sleeper, use promo code NOAH, and when you place your first deposit, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So this is a promo on Sleeper that they used to do, and then they went to a different promotion for new users, and now they're back to doing their deposit match bonus. So if you are new to Sleeper, if you've never tried out Sleeper before, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up with code NOAH. So very simple. You put in 50, they give you an additional 50. You put in 75, they give you an additional 75. You put in 100, they'll give you an additional 100. Whatever you deposit, they will match that up to $100. And if you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're a DFS pick'em app. They're very similar to Prizepicks. You just pick more or less on player projections. You build out your lineup. You can make multi-sport lineups over on Sleeper. You can win up to 100x your money. So if you guys do want to check them out, again, sign up and use that code NOAH over on Sleeper. But before we talk through the two plays that I like for this slate, guys, on Wednesday, do want to recap our two plays from Tuesday's video. So Tuesday did not go well for us, man. We got a reverse sweep. We went 0-2 on the two picks we gave out Tuesday. Anthony Black under 23.5 fantasy score. Did not go well. Anthony Black really didn't play like a ton of minutes. He only played like 10 minutes in the first half. He was on pace to play like 20 minutes, but then he did get extended minutes in the fourth quarter. He was playing really well. I mean, he's just knocking down every shot that he took. He shot 6 for 7 from the field. He was 3 for 3 from 3. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks in 27 minutes. I mean, just super, super efficient. What can you do? And then we took it over on Jaren Jackson Jr., 33.5 fantasy score. Felt so good about that play. That was by far my favorite play on the entire board for Tuesday. And Jaren Jackson Jr. played a shit ton of minutes, 39 minutes, I think, and went under his fantasy score line, had like 31 fantasy points in 39 minutes. I mean, the fact that he went under on 39 minutes is just insane. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a player that, for his career has averaged well over a fantasy point per minute, and usually when he plays about that many minutes, like 38, 39 minutes, on average, he puts up like 40, 41, 42 fantasy points. But go figure, plays 39 minutes, puts up 31 fantasy points. Really annoying. I mean, the Triple J line, that line got bumped up 3 points. The Anthony Black line got taken off the board. Like, I felt really good about the plays. I think we got some really good value on those plays, and shit just didn't go our way, and that's just kind of how it's been. But it is what it is. We'll move on to Wednesday, guys. Got two plays for Wednesday. Let's break down these two plays. So the first prop that I do like for Wednesday is going to be a first half prop. So on Prizepicks, you can click the NBA 1H category, stat type right here, and you can basically take whether you think a player goes over or under their projection in the first half. Prizepicks basically just cuts their full game projection in half, and then they offer that for first half. So there's a first half fantasy score line that I do like for today, and it's going to be on Khalil Ware. And we're going to take Khalil Ware for more than 13 first half fantasy score. Now, the reason I'm taking this first half line on Khalil Ware instead of his full game line of 26 is because we have seen in some games recently the Heat have not closed games with Khalil Ware. So sometimes in the fourth quarter, Khalil Ware's minutes will get cut down, and they'll just play different lineups where maybe they don't play Khalil Ware and Bam alongside each other. They just play Bam at center and then they'll add in, an extra guard or maybe like an extra wing. Maybe Haywood Highsmith gets more minutes. Maybe like Davion Mitchell gets more minutes. But in the first half, Khalil Ware's minutes have been fairly secure, when he's been a starter. And I'd assume he continues to stick in the starting lineup. The Heat have kind of gone back and forth with Khalil Ware starting, coming off the bench, but he's been starting a lot of their games lately. I mean, I want to say he started like all of their last, 10, 12 games. He's been in the starting lineup for, at least a month or so. So I'm expecting him to stick in the starting lineup here. And he's been productive, when he's gotten minutes this season. I mean, he's averaging well over a fantasy point per minute. He's averaged like 1.07 fantasy points per minute this season. As you can see, for what it's worth, he has gone over this first half fantasy score line of all of his last 4 games, if you want to look at that. And did want to note that he did go over this line against Chicago, which is today's matchup, and this is a matchup that I do really like for Khalil, where we have seen centers have a lot of success against this Bulls team this season. The Bulls, they're giving up the most points in the paint this season, or at least I think they were. It may be they're like second. It's either them or the Pelicans that have been like the worst paint defense. I think it's the Bulls. Yeah, the Bulls, they're giving up the most points in the paint this season. So it's a really good matchup for Khalil Ware to be able to kind of score around the rim, which is where he can be really effective. The Bulls have also been a fairly bad rebounding team, so this is also a matchup where Khalil Ware should have success on the glass. I mean, you look at points per game allowed to centers, 4th most points per game allowed to centers, allowing the 5th most fantasy points per game to centers. And Khalil Ware has already faced the Bulls 3 times this season. And in the first half of those games, he played 15, 16, and 12 minutes and had 24, 26.6, and 16.8 fantasy scores. So he's been really productive in this matchup previously this season. It's a great matchup overall for Khalil Ware. The minutes have been fairly secure in the first half. I mean, you look at his first half game log lately, like he's consistently been playing around 14 to 16 first half minutes, just like over his last 10 games. 16, 16, 13, 14, 11, 14, 17, 13, 16, 12, 16, and then 9. Last game he only played 9 first half minutes. His minutes got cut way down last game because it was a meaningless game against the Wizards. They didn't really want to play him a lot in that game, but obviously this game matters a ton. It's a must-win game for the Heat, so I'm expecting about 13, anywhere from like 13 to 15 first half minutes for Khalil Ware. It's a guy that averages over a fantasy point per minute. It's a really good matchup for him. It's a matchup he should be productive in. So I do like this spot a lot for Khalil Ware. Like him for more than 13 first half fantasy score. If you want to take his over, full game 26 fantasy score, don't mind that. Don't like that play as much just because I think there is a chance that Khalil Ware could see his minutes get cut down in the 4th quarter, maybe some in the second half. But in the first half, his minutes have been secure, which is why I like betting on his first half line instead of his full game line. But then the other prop that I do like from the next game, the Kings and Mavericks game, is going to be another fantasy score line. We're going to take Anthony Davis for more than 51.5 fantasy score. So Anthony Davis has been really, really productive with the Mavs when he's been on the floor. Obviously, he's battled some injuries. He's missed some games with Dallas, but he's been healthy as of late. He's been playing incredibly well, coming off by far his best game of the season with Dallas, where he put up a triple-double against the Raptors. 23 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 7 blocks in 30 minutes versus Toronto. And we're starting to see the minutes really get up there for AD. AD with the Mavericks, his minutes have been pretty limited. Like, they haven't really been playing him a lot of minutes. But if we look at this game against the Lakers, he played 33 minutes and did sub out with about a minute and a half left in the 4th quarter of that game for blowout. So he was actually on pace to play about 35 minutes against the Lakers. And then last game against the Raptors, he played 30 minutes. But he subbed out with like 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter because that game was also a blowout. So AD probably would have played 35, 36 minutes against the Raptors had that game been competitive. Obviously, this game against the Kings is one that projects to be competitive. It's got a close spread. And this is a must-win game. I mean, you lose this game and your season's over. So I expect the Mavericks to be running a really tight rotation here, and I expect Anthony Davis to play a lot of minutes in the spot. I think 36, 37 minutes is definitely on the table for him. And let's not forget, I mean, Anthony Davis, he's obviously had injury troubles throughout his career, but man, when the dude is healthy, he is a very, very good fantasy producer. He's a guy that averages 1.5 fantasy points per minute. And on average, when he plays like 36, 37 minutes, I'd bet on him, putting up like at least 40, 54, 55 fantasy score. And I think the matchup here against Sacramento is a fine one. Domantas Sabonis, not a bad defender by any means, but I was looking at some of AD's games previously versus Sabonis, and he's definitely had success against Sabonis in the past. And AD's role has just been so good on this Mavericks team. He's dominating the usage. The offense has been running through AD. We've seen him rack up a bunch of assists lately. Obviously, he's a guy that can score and can rebound incredibly well, but he's also been getting some assists lately, so they've been using him as a facilitator, and we know he offers that steals and blocks upside, which for fantasy score, getting those steals and blocks is huge. AD had 7 blocks last game. He can have those games where he racks up 3 or 4 blocks, a couple steals, and obviously for fantasy score, those start to add up quickly. So definitely like this spot for AD. Expect the minutes to be really high in a must-win game. I think 51.5 fantasy score is a bit low on him. I would have this line probably around 54.5. So I do like this play on AD. That'll be our second play for today. So this is what we're going to roll with, guys, is our 2 props for the 9 and 10 seed games on Wednesday. Obviously, another 2-game slate. And I think we won't have any games on Thursday, I'm pretty sure. Won't have any games Thursday, but we should. I think we will have 2 games on Friday. The winners of these 2 games and then the loser of Tuesday's games, those teams will play on Friday to decide who gets the final spots in the playoffs. And obviously, I have a video up for that. I'm going to try and make some videos this weekend, too, for the start of the postseason. And, it's postseason time. I'm super excited. Obviously, wish we would have gotten off to a better start. Going 0-2 in our 2 plays Tuesday, obviously not ideal, but felt really good about those plays. Thought we had some really good value on those. I mean, again, the Anthony Black play got removed off the board. The Jaren Jackson Jr. line got bumped up 3 points. Like, we clearly got good value, and things just didn't go our way. That happens. It is what it is. But I got 2 more plays I like for today that I see value in. Hopefully, we can go 2-0 on these 2 plays. So that's what I got, guys, for Wednesday. Appreciate you guys watching, as always. Make sure that you hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys don't have an account over on Prizepicks, again, go sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH. When you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So sign up for Prizepicks if you guys have not yet. But good luck tonight, guys. Let's win some money, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.